Wednesday mornings, Coffee with Job, and we're continuing to look at the astonishing chapter 41, looking at the Leviathan, and we read from verse 12. And again, as we saw yesterday, we're saying this refers to the devil. I'll explain why in a moment. I will not fail to speak of Leviathan's limbs, its strength and its graceful form. Who can strip off its outer coat? Who can penetrate its double coat of armour? Who dares open the door of its mouth, ringed about with its fearsome teeth? Its back has rows of shields, tightly sealed together. Each is so close to the next that no air can pass between. They are joined fast to one another. They cling together and cannot be parted. Its snorting throws out flashes of light. Its eyes are like the rays of dawn. Flames stream from its mouth. Sparks of fire shout out. Smoke pours from its nostrils, as from a boiling pot over burning reeds. Its breath sets coals ablaze, and flames dart from its mouth. Strength resides in its neck, dismay goes before it. The folds of its flesh are tightly joined, they are firm and immovable. Its chest is hard as rock, hard as a lower millstone. When it rises up, the mighty are terrified. They retreat before its thrashing. The sword that reaches it has no effect, nor does the spear, or the dart, or the javelin. Iron it treats like straw, and bronze like rotten wood. Arrows do not make it flee. Sling stones are like chaff to it. A club seems to it but a bit of straw. It laughs at the rattling of the lance. Its undersides are jagged potsherds, leaving a trail in the mud like a threshing sledge. It makes the depths churn like a boiling cauldron, and stirs up the sea like a pot of ointment. It leaves a glistening wake behind it. One would think the deep had white hair. Nothing on earth is its equal, a creature without fear. It looks down on all that are haughty. It is king over all that are proud. Now, somebody asked me, why doesn't this refer to a dinosaur? Well, there are several reasons. One is a fire-breathing dinosaur in the sea. That doesn't, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. And also, given what we've seen before, and also, it's always good to interpret Scripture by Scripture. So, Psalm 74. Let me just take you to some other parts of Scripture which refer to this Leviathan as the devil. Psalm 74, verse 12. It was you who split open the sea by your power. You broke the heads of the monster in the water. It was you who crushed the heads of Leviathan and gave it as food to the creatures of the desert. Or Leviathan is also mentioned in Psalm 104, and this one's actually quite amusing. Psalm 104, verse 25. There is the sea, vast and spacious, teeming with creatures beyond number, living things both large and small. There the ships go to and fro, and Leviathan, which you formed to frolic there. I love that detail, that Leviathan was formed to play in the sea. That's, he's just referring to this monster. But in the New Testament, we go to the book of Revelation, and the dragon obviously refers to the devil. So Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient snake called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. The great dragon, Satan. Or Revelation 20 and verse 2. It's he seized the dragon, that ancient snake who is the devil or Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. So the fire-breathing dragon in Leviathan, I think it's not wrong to say that it's Satan. And what God is saying here is, when you're faced with the greatest evil, and Satan is the greatest evil, remember that he's on a chain. Remember that he's under my control. Luther, and I'm going to hopefully play this at the end. If you hang on, I'll get a version of it and tag it on. A strong fortress, ein fester Berg. The ancient prince of hell has risen with purpose fell. He weareth in this hour, strong mail of craft and power, he weareth in this hour. On earth is not his fellow. It's just an incredible picture. And what, as Christopher Ash points out, only the Lord can keep evil on a leash. We're worried about evil, the evil that Putin is doing in Ukraine. We're worried about evil that goes on in different parts of the world. But remember, the Lord is is sovereign. And he defeats evil. And how does he defeat evil? I love this. Hebrews 2:14. Let me just read this to finish. And then we'll have Ein Festerberg. Since the children have flesh and blood, he too shared in their humanity, so that by his death he might break the power of him who holds the power of death, that is, the devil, and free those who all their lives were held in slavery by their fear of death. The cross is how the devil is defeated. What appeared to be his greatest victory ends up being his ultimate defeat. So, we're finally on to the last chapter. Join me tomorrow and see you at the same time. Enjoy Ein Festerberg. Bye.